Schechter, proprietor of The Perfect Edge, and today in this video we're going to be making chromium oxide. And chromium oxide is a very common abrasive. A lot of people use it, most people buy it, it's available in a variety of forms. But what I do is I make my own, and the reason I make my own is because about 10 years ago, the guy who was making Chrome Ox and was the biggest purveyor of it got caught cutting it with silica. It was on the MDS sheet. Nobody had ever bothered to read it. And I was hopping mad. I was jumping up and down. I was so angry. And what I decided to do was make my own, because then I know what's in it and what grade it is, and I don't have to be concerned that somebody else's idea of an abrasive is in with mine. So chromium oxide is made from ammonium dichromate, and it's a chemical which you can get from a chemical supply house. You may have to answer a few questions because of the nature of chemical supply house supply chains these days. But they sent it to me, no problem. And then you take it, you got to keep it dry, so don't leave it open, leave it taped, so just take care of it. Make sure it will ignite when you want it to ignite. And it won't do that if it's taken in moisture from the atmosphere. So in the video we're going to show the actual reaction. It's an exothermic reaction, which means it gives off more energy than it takes in. And it also is a self-sustaining reaction. So you'll see the green chrome oxide just creating as it burns down. It's always been one of my favorite reactions. And at the end you get chrome oxide, so you have something useful. If you want to get it to different grades, and the way I have is I take it to a mortar and pestle. I wear a respirator. I don't want to be, breathing that stuff. And grind it. You just keep grinding it until it's an extraordinarily fine powder. And then you can use it for various forms of abrasion against different types of metal surfaces. So that's the intro to what this is and why we're doing it. Please feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. And the video, of course, is available at theperfectedge.com. Hi, Howard again. Making chrome oxide. Now it's step 2. What's got to be done with the chrome oxide at this point, where it's really just come out of the reaction and it's just ready to be further processed, is I use these sieves. And the sieves are progressive sieves. They get progressively finer and finer. The first reason we're using this is because when you have the raw chromium oxide from the reaction, you may see little orange specks in it from the original ammonium dichromate. And those just have to be gotten out of there. They're not abrasive, and so we make a fairly coarse sieve to get those out, and then we put the rest through finer and finer sieves until we get really, really fine chromium oxide. And as you can see, the way I do it is we have all these sieves, and they're all different mesh. They're all different sizes, but they're all laboratory grade, and these are actually precision tools. Okay, so you want to take care of them, you want to be careful, you want to clean them well, dry them, and put them away for the next time you use them. So that's what we're going to be doing, and it's a lot of chromium oxide I have to process here. So we'll just pour it in. We'll get rid of that because I don't want anything in there that's not pure chrome ox. And then we'll have a pile of chromium oxide. Now, what do you do with it? Well, for the construction, what I do is I mix it with camellia oil, and I use the medical therapeutic grade. It's just the purest, and I can tell the difference when somebody in some other country has adulterated camellia oil. So I take it, I'll mix it with the camellia oil, and I'll put it on the construction. And here it is when it's on the construction. I load it pretty well. Loading means applying the abrasive material to the leather strop. And when I make the construction, I usually do several applications. So there aren't any spots on the construction where there's no abrasive or there's weaker amount of abrasive. And that's how we get to the 40,000 grit that the third leg of the construction has. And that's why it's been working so well for people. So I'm going to go do that, and we'll talk to you later. We'll see you then. Thank you.